Today I have a very special video as part of the exciting Junk Journal January 2024 challenge hosted by Meg Journals in collaboration with Get Messy. Junk Journal January is a free month-long challenge to inspire you to create in your art or junk journal. It's a great chance to kickstart your creativity in 2024 with a supportive community and show up to your journal. And each day throughout the month, you get to watch a new video from 30 different YouTube creators. You can find links including the playlist and the prompt list below this video. So I will be using the prompt Torn Edges to create a centerfold for this junk journal I'm currently working on. Welcome, it's Barbara from Vienna, Austria. So let me give you a better view of this journal. So it's made from denim material, as you can see. The closure is one of the seams of jeans trousers. The inside is made of a paper bag, which is my preferred way of constructing journals. And then I have these two pockets here cut out from my Woven Dreams backgrounds. And I just added some more interest here. So you can see here on the back, I added some holes with some stamping on fabric underneath. And the signatures are not sewn in yet. I'm not going to give you a full flip through of this journal because it's not done, but I do want you to see the theme and the colors that I have in here because obviously I want to keep this journal cohesive. And by the way, if you're interested in checking out this particular kit, Woven Dreams, you can find the link for that in the description box below. But what I want to do today is to add another page for my middle signature, which is right here. So I have this page here, which I have already torn down to size. It's obviously coffee dyed already. I have torn the edges, so actually the prompt is already fulfilled. Thank you very much for watching. No, obviously we're going to add some things to this page. So let's take it out because that's easier to work on. So the theme for my Woven Dreams kit is very much nature combined with fabric. And I want to stick with the nature theme for this middle spread, but I want this middle spread to be a little bit more special than the other pages. So I have some leaves that I have collected on a walk, and I think these are the two pieces that I want to use for my pockets. So I'm thinking one on this one and one on this one. And for the pockets themselves, I want to use this page. So this is also coffee dyeing with added, I think it was watercolor. It's been about 2 years since I've made this, and this is my very last sheet of the batch that I made. And in here we have some salt, which gives us these really cool crater shapes. I will link the video where I show you exactly how I made these papers. There are also digital versions in case you want to check those out. You will find everything linked below. So I think this makes a great natural design for my pockets. So since I want this piece here on my pocket, I have to cut it down a little bit first before I tear it. So I'll cut it here. Actually, I should be tearing rather than cutting, right? So I'll tear it here. I'll also tear the bottom edge. So now when I put these on, I'm covering most of this. That's not good. But maybe we can use it for this one here. Yep, I think that's better on this side. Yep, that's pocket one. And then I wanted to have a similar shape, so I'll just put this on here and then tear a similar shape. So next I'll ink up my edges with walnut stain. Next I want to add some more interest on the background. I have this leaf stencil. I wish I could tell you where it's from, but I got this secondhand and it has no name on it. And to help me to position these leaves a little better, I'm going to lightly draw the outline of my pockets. I'm drawing them a little bit inside of them so that they won't show later. Obviously, I could just erase them as well. And then I'm going to use a mixture of Wild Honey Distress ink and Rusty Hinge Distress Oxide. And then I'll just make a pattern with this big leaf. I don't think I'll use the small leaf. We don't see a lot of the color variation here actually. Maybe I'll add some darker color to the Rusty Hinge. I'll try the Vintage Photo. Maybe just here where the stem is and a little further up. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to continue with the same stencil and just make a pattern with it. I also want to add a little bit of magic to these leaves. So I'm going to attempt that with Distress Mica Stain Harvest Moon and Distress Spray Stain Tarnished Brass. So this one is a lot lighter gold than this one. So I will use my stencil again and I will put these around the edges so that it really only sprays into the leaf shape. I just want to mist it a little bit. Oh yes. Yes, that looks amazing. It's not even dry yet, but you can see how magical this looks. So I will do that with the other leaves as well. Then I'll take the Tarnished Brass Distress Spray Stain and just add some splatters. So this is what it looks like once everything is dry. So the pockets will go here, and I want to add a little bit of sparkle to the pockets as well. And I will do that by adding some hand stitching. I have this beautiful thread here. You see how beautiful shimmery it is. It's just absolutely gorgeous. The collection is Razzle Dazzle by Ricky Timms. It's made in Japan. And the color is 273, and the name, even though it doesn't say it on here, is called Secret Serenade. I will link my source for this, which is also the store where I get my designer fabrics. I will link that for you below. It's a store in Germany. You can easily translate the German website by using a right click with your mouse on the website. This works for any website actually. And a little window will appear where one of the options is translate to English. So I'm going to sew around these two edges and the same on this one here. So we're just going to have the illusion that these are sewn onto the page. I'm not actually going to sew it through here because I don't want the stitching on the back side. So I'll just use a regular running stitch. Might be easier to poke your holes before, but I'm just going to do it like this. I want an organic look. I don't want it to be perfect. It's been such a long time since I've added hand stitching, and I always love the way it looks. So once both tuck spots are stitched, I'm simply going to take some masking tape and secure the threads on the inside of the tuck spots. And even though the leaves are beautiful as they are, I want to try to add a little bit more interest to them, sticking with my color scheme of the blue and the golden yellow. So I want to add some speckled egg distress embossing glaze. Never done that with leaves, so we'll see how that goes. I'll use my embossing dabber. I just want a little speckling here and there, so I'm trying my best to put this on randomly. Oh my goodness. No. Oh, I broke it. Well, we will have to do our best to glue it together on the tuck spot. Oh my goodness. Okay, there's a lot more on here than I anticipated, so I am very, very curious to see what this will look like once it has been embossed. Let's try to be a bit more careful with these. So glaze is obviously different than embossing powder. The glaze is very translucent. So let's see what that will look like. So we actually don't see at all that it's blue. In fact, it looks quite green on this brown. Not what I had in mind, but fine all the same. So I'll just do the same with the two smaller leaves. I do like the shine that it added to the leaves. I think I'll just not use the stem. But without the stem, at least I am more flexible now positioning these leaves, so I guess that's totally fine. So next I'm going to adhere the leaves to my tuck spots using a matte gel. So I'll just add my gel to the back of the leaves, and I'm not going all the way to the edge because I don't want this to squish out, although it wouldn't be a big deal because the matte gel dries matte, as the name says, so we wouldn't really see it once it dries. Putting a generous layer on here. So now I can glue on my tuck spots. Then I also want to create two tags to go into these tuck spots. I'm going to use this beige cardstock. I buy this in my local art store. It's a mixed media cardstock, 250 GSM or 115 pounds. And the color is called Naturel, and the company is Clairefontaine. So I want them to be the same size. So I'll cut it like this, and I'll make it about this tall, and I'll cut two of those. So I have these two now, and I want to take inspiration from these here. These are from my Woven Dreams ephemera kit. And these really inspire me to make some larger tags. I won't be using fabric, but I have this really beautiful paper. I got this at my local store, Bösner. They have an amazing selection of these beautiful high quality papers. So I want to add this pattern on one and this beautiful golden leaf pattern on the other one. Then I'm going to take my ground espresso distress oxide and go along the edges. I think this is the only way it will actually be visible. If I used my sponge, I don't think we would see it. I'll do it on the back as well, although I'm not really sure yet what's going to happen on the back side. So let's do something fun on the backs because I cannot leave them like they are. So I'll first add a layer of clear gesso. I like this one by Liquitex. It has a lot of tooth to it, so it's not going to be a smooth surface. Some people don't like that. I really like that. I'm applying this because I want to then later add some more colors, and having this base will make the colors sit more on top rather than immediately soak into my cardstock. So that means I can also blend them a lot better having this coat on it. Once they're dry, I want to add some stenciling. So I have this fun stencil by Finnabair. I don't have a number on here. I don't have the packaging anymore, but I'm hoping you would be able to find this if you search for a Finnabair circle stencil. I'm going to use this Ranger Distress Texture Paste Opaque. I won't add the whole pattern of the whole stencil. I think it looks more interesting if we just have the design partially. And even a half circle like down here, I think will look pretty interesting. And for this second one, I want to use this stencil by All and Create. The website is www.all.create.com, and it's the stencil number 12. Once the texture paste is dry, I want to add some color. So I'll try these Distress Stain daubers. I have Wild Honey and Brushed Corduroy. Let's add some water to make that move. You could also do this with watercolor, of course, or any water-soluble medium. So let's try the Brushed Corduroy. Oh, which is green. I don't know why. This is super interesting. I don't mind in this case. Why is it green? Huh. Okay, we'll go with it. See, now here on the edge it's turning brown. Maybe it had some yellow on it. This is super interesting. I have to try this. Yeah, so here it's getting a little bit more brown, but it's still fairly green. Okay then, no problem. Let's add some more water. I want some more brown, so I'll add some Distress Oxide Spray Ground Espresso. Again, adding some more water. And obviously you just continue doing this until you're happy with the result. And since we see that the color is pooling here on the edges, we can just take a paper towel to take that off. I have dried these and I think they look quite cool now. But I want to add something a little more unexpected, which is salvaged patina. I'm just going to add some drops with my nozzle because I think otherwise this is going to go very wrong. Let's do something else. This is not really the effect I want, so I'll spray some here on my mat and then take my splatter brush and splatter it on like this. Yes, that's more what I had in mind. So these are our back sides now. I think they look quite interesting. I especially love the salvaged patina on this design. And going back to our front sides, we now see that our ground espresso that I added along the edge has totally bled out. I am super happy with it because I love the added unexpected grunge. but maybe something to take into consideration if this is not what you want, to maybe add that as a last step. And again, taking inspiration from this ephemera for my kit, I want to add some scraps of paper on top of my tags. I have chosen some of these scraps of coffee dyed papers. So I'll just tear some down to go on top of my tags. This is also picking up the torn edge theme again. So I want them to be in different lengths and widths. This will also provide some writing space because I don't actually have any writing space yet on this double page. I'll ink up all of those edges. So there's many ways we could attach these. We could stitch them by hand. We could sew them on with the sewing machine. We could staple them on. We could glue them on. We could add a brad. So many options, but I'm going to again take the inspiration from here and add an eyelet. Let's take gold. Then I want to add some packaging twine through the holes, and I'll take inspiration from this tag right here. So we'll just fold the packaging twine in half, put it through just like we would if we were to do it when we want the ends going up. We'll put the ends through. And then rather than pulling it up like this, like we usually would, we're just going to pull it down. Very, very simple. I really like this. Let's cut these a little bit. I'll do the same for the other one. I think I have to do it the other way because you see how these are sticking up? I think if I turn it around like that, they should point inwards. Yes. Yeah, that's better. And we could also try to tie some twine around the tag like this. Why not? It's something different. I'll do it just on this one tag. So let's see what these will look like in our tuck spots. And we can decide whether we want the papers to go over this or not. Maybe just one of them. I think that's a really nice double spread. The only thing I'm missing is some more gold splatters here on the tuck spots. So I'll again use the Harvest Moon mica stain. I'll spray some here on my mat and use my splatter brush. So this is my final page spread. This is the center of my Woven Dreams journal. Thank you so much, Meg, for hosting this fun collaboration once again. Be sure to check out the link below with the playlist and all the info. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah.